I wake up to the same sound every day. Ventilation. Not wind, not trees, not ocean. Just the Death Star breathing through 10,000 kilometers of metal like it's alive and bored. I'm not an officer. I'm not important. I'm a stormtrooper with a station assignment, a bunk that folds into a wall, and a helmet that smells faintly of plastic and yesterday's sweat. If you want to survive here, stop thinking of it like a base. Think of it like a city-sized machine that occasionally remembers it has enemies. Rule 1. You don't live on the Death Star. You rent air from it. Air is filtered, recycled, and piped through corridors that never end. Most of the time it's fine. When it isn't, you'll taste it. Metallic, dry, like you've been chewing coins. That's your early warning that something is wrong in a sector you'll never see on a map. When the air tastes wrong, you don't complain. Complaints vanish into forms. You change your behavior. Drink more water. Avoid sprinting. Keep your seal checks tight. If your helmet gasket is worn, you replace it before you need it. Out here, later is how you die. The corridor outside my barracks is a river of boots. Everything moves on schedule. Shifts, patrols, inspections. If you're late, you don't get yelled at like a normal job. You get noticed. Rule 2. On this station, being noticed is a kind of injury. I keep my kit boring. Blaster clean. Power pack topped. Helmet lenses wiped. Armor straps checked. No custom marks. No little jokes. No lucky charms hanging off the belt. You can be superstitious, just don't be creative about it. First stop is the armory window. There's a rhythm to it. Present ID, receive weapon, confirm charge. The armorer's eyes are dead from doing this 10,000 times. He still notices everything. I don't touch the trigger. I don't swing the barrel. I don't make the armorer hate me. You survive long enough in uniform by not making enemies out of people who control your essentials. Then comes the lift, one of those silent shafts that swallow a squad and spit it out somewhere else, like we're parts in transit. Rule 3. Always know 2 routes back to your section. The Death Star is designed to confuse you. Not on paper, on purpose. Corridors repeat. Doors look identical. Signs are for people who have time to read. When alarms go off, nobody reads. They run. So I memorize landmarks that don't change. A coolant pipe that sweats. A dent in a bulkhead. A door panel that flickers once when it cycles. A camera with a slightly off angle. Small irregularities are maps. My shift today is internal security, mid-level. That means the glamorous work. Standing still where the officers move through like they own gravity. Watching. Listening. Pretending I'm not tired. Rule 4. The real threat isn't the attack. It's the second-order chaos. Most troopers imagine dying in a firefight, blaster in hand, heroic last stand, clean narrative. That's a recruiting poster. Reality is tripping in a smoke-filled corridor because someone dropped a power coupler. So I watch for chaos seeds, open maintenance panels, unattended carts, loose cables, overheated vents. Crowds forming where crowds shouldn't. Crowds are dangerous here. Too many bodies in a corridor turns into a pressure wave when panic hits. People get crushed against doors that only open one direction. If you learn one thing on this station, learn this. A door is either your salvation or your coffin. The first incident is always small. A maintenance droid stalls in the wrong place. A civilian contractor argues with an officer. A tech drops a toolkit and it clatters for too long in a quiet corridor. That's how you spot trouble before it's trouble. The station's rhythm stutters. I don't bark orders. I don't shove people. I reposition. I create space. I clear choke points early. I look calm even when my brain is doing math. Panic is contagious. Don't be the first carrier. Mid-shift, we do inspections. You'd think inspections are about discipline. They are. But they're also about hiding the fact that the station is too big to truly maintain. Rule 5. Inspections are the Empire's way of pretending control is complete. An officer walks the line with a clipboard like it's a weapon. He checks armor cleanliness, boot shine, weapon status. If he's the smart kind, he also checks your eyes. Tired troopers make mistakes. Angry troopers make enemies. Bored troopers get curious. Curiosity is how a trooper ends up in the wrong corridor at the wrong time. Curiosity is how rumors spread. Rumors are how morale breaks. Morale is how people start making little choices. Little choices stack up until something explodes. Food break happens in the canteen. The food is engineered to be edible, not enjoyable. Protein paste, hydration gel, something that claims it was vegetables. You can taste the budget. This is where you learn the station's real politics. Rule 6. Listen more than you speak. Contractors talk. Gunners complain. Techs brag. Someone always knows a thing they shouldn't know. A rumor about a new weapon test. A rumor about a prisoner transfer. A rumor about a systems upgrade that doesn't make sense. I don't chase rumors like entertainment. I tag them as hazards. If enough people are whispering the same thing, it means movement is happening somewhere above my clearance. Movement is the prelude to accidents. After break, I draw a post near a junction where corridors meet like arteries. You can tell what matters on the Death Star by where they put cameras and where they put troopers. If there are both, you're guarding something important. If there are neither, you're near something that doesn't exist. We all know there are sections no one talks about. Locked doors, blank listings, maintenance-only routes that never seem to need maintenance until they suddenly do. Rule 7. If a door is locked for routine reasons, assume it's locked for a deadly reason. I don't pry. I don't linger. People who linger near locked doors attract questions. Questions attract attention. Attention attracts transfers. Transfers attract funerals. Then the alarm hits. Not the dramatic kind. Not yet. Just a subtle shift. Intercom updates. Coded phrases. A tightening in the pace of officers moving through corridors. The air changes when something big is happening. Not physically, socially. Conversations cut off mid-sentence. Bootsteps get faster. Someone laughs too loudly and it sounds like a mistake. Rule 8. When officers stop explaining, you stop assuming you're safe. We get redeployed. A squad gets pulled off routine patrol and pointed toward a sector that doesn't usually need us. On the walk, I start doing the only useful thing. I plan for confusion. I identify exits. I count intersections. I watch for doors that conceal. I avoid being in the center of any formation where I can't break away if the corridor turns into a furnace. Fires on a station like this don't burn like campfires. They eat oxygen. They flood corridors with invisible death. The first sign of real trouble is the sound, not explosions. A vibration through the deck plating. A low hum that deepens like the station is swallowing. The kind of sound that makes teeth ache. Someone says, reactor, under their breath. Someone else says, containment. Nobody says, enemy, yet. I keep my helmet on. I keep my seal tight. I keep my pace controlled. Rule 9. In a crisis, your breath is a resource. We hit a blast door. It seals behind us. The corridor ahead is too clean, too quiet, like it's been evacuated. Quiet is never comfort. Quiet is a setup. I don't hero walk into it. I don't sprint either. I take a position that lets me see without becoming the first thing seen. And then it happens. The station's rhythm breaks completely. A distant tremor. A flicker in the lights. A hard announcement that doesn't explain anything, because explanations are for people who aren't about to die. The Death Star feels large, suddenly. Too large. Like being inside a beast that just noticed the spear in its side. If you think survival here is about winning, you're already dead. Survival is about not being in the wrong corridor when someone else's war arrives. Rule 10. Your goal isn't glory. It's getting back to air you can trust. I fall back in stages, corner to corner, door to door, always with an exit behind me. I don't chase shapes in smoke. I don't fire at echoes. I don't split from the squad unless the squad becomes the hazard. If the corridor fills, I go low. If the lights die, I go slow. If the doors start sealing randomly, I stop thinking of the station as a map and start thinking of it as a trap. Traps are survived with patience, not bravery. When my shift ends, if it ends, I return to the barracks and I do the unromantic work. I clean the blaster. I check the power pack. I inspect armor seals. I drink water even if I don't feel thirsty, because dehydration turns fear into stupidity. I listen to the ventilation, and I try to hear if it sounds the same as yesterday. If it doesn't, tomorrow is going to be worse. I lie down in the bunk that folds into the wall. I keep my boots close. I keep my helmet closer than I want to, and I remember the only honest truth on this station. The Death Star doesn't care if you're loyal. It only cares if you're in the way when it breaks.